All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game number 2 in this best of 3 currently underway. Spawning on the bottom left side of Catalina, or middle left side of the Catalina. We have the red Terran player. He's up 1 at the moment. Give it up for Cure.
Never writes as the blue Protoss, the Flash Wolves Sun.
You know, Sun is Protoss, and if Protoss is the sickness, this guy's got the cure.
Oh, we haven't used that one before.
I don't know about this one, though. Catalina, this is a map I want to typically say, hey, this is a great Terran map, classically speaking. A lot of Zerg and Protoss hate playing on this map. But as much as we see that be the case, that also leads to these weird, crazy all-ins. Blank Stalkers catch Terran players off guard. Abusive force fields lay down. Immortal busts have happened. We've seen it all on Catalina. So I don't know which direction this goes. But if it is standard versus standard, I give the standard cure, I think, every single time. Especially just on this map.
Yeah. We do have him opening up with the gas this time. I was, thinking about a last game where it's like, well, I don't know how often they play each other on ladder, and they probably don't know either with barcodes and all that. That, opening up a game without scouting, it's always a risk, but, they're not going to consciously be like, they're not opening up with a Reaper, right? Like, they would have had to chosen that build before the game started. So, if Cure had done the same thing, open up gases, no Reaper, it's possible San tried to take advantage of it. Looks like it won't be the case here, especially since Cure did go for a Reaper, but...
Actually, do you think he goes for more than one? We've seen some weird Reaper openings in Catalina, even against Protoss.
Doesn't look like it. Like the double Rax Reaper that's been coming in again? Yeah. But it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I really like seeing standard play out of folks like this, because I sit here and I'm like, man, I'm bad at this game, and everything I learn from it is not through coaching or practice on ladder. It's just copying builds on replays, trying them out myself, and it's like, oh, that worked, great, or oh, it didn't work, never mind.
Basically, yeah. We see the CC go down, and only one Reaper was made. Again, when this happens, just usually purely for scouting. The SCVs did scout also that the Nexus would go down, so...
Zombie Cup, I know there's that stream delay, and I said it earlier today, I'll say it again, it never gets old seeing the people who watch that intro for the first time. The reactions, the WTFs.
What is Saul waiting for? He's not building a stalker? Oh, he's supply block, that's why. Sorry. Didn't mean to point that out. He just had so much gas, I was like, are you gonna do like a Stargate before Stalker, Wargate, or what is it going on?
No, see, it's Korean timings.
I'm sorry.
You're
probably right.
It looks like a supply block for us, but he has to compensate for the fact his opponent's really intelligent and has to mess with him. So he thinks,
okay.
I'm actually bad. I got supply block. Just kidding. Lulled you into a false sense of security.
Yeah, that does make sense. I'm on tilt. No, I'm not. Haha.
Psych.
Looks like the same opener-ish as last game with the Twilight Council. So you've done another Forge and, of course, a Robo. That's what he did last game. Am I going crazy?
Yo, what?
Yeah.
I think what we need to do is someone needs to teach Koreans the concept of psych.
Psych?
Good game. Psych! At an IEM finals, can you imagine?
Yeah, they actually have to say it with the douchebag.
No, you do it. You go up to shake the hands on the stage, and you pull a hand back at the last second. Psych! I won.
Yeah, they totally do that. So I wondered last game, since we were bringing up the Dark Templars, but then you put them on Forge and Robo, and I was like, never mind. But this game goes to the Dark Shrine. It's going to be harder, of course, to keep this from being scouted with the Reaper out on the map, but very possible.
Nice, picks off the probe over here as well. So limit scouting information from San. This Reaper is doing God's work. We saw no Reaper in the first game, and he kind of got away with it just because of the way the game had gone, but this time the Reaper's actually doing a lot, and what it could possibly do is sneak its way here and check out the Dark Shrine. And if he sees this Dark Shrine before San gets a chance to cancel it, this goes a long freaking way for Cure.
Yeah.
I mean, the difference of saving scans is the bare minimum, building turrets, of course, the maximum. But he is gearing up for this really big push, and the problem is With that, he's probably not thinking anything defensive. Nothing about a Dark Trine, nothing about a Dark Templar coming to kill his probes or his SCVs while he goes across the map. I mean, the stim timing for this is going to be gorgeous. Look how many Marauders are with this army already. Can he see this with the Reaper? This is a pretty big deal.
I'm not so sure. Okay,
Probe
he's even
kill.
pulling the probes to try and stop this from being scouted. That's already suspicious.
Son misclicking his assimilator. Oh, Reaper, can you
God,
do
he's
it?
gonna see it? All right then. Okay.
This
Of
is
course.
huge. This is a huge reveal.
Yeah, yeah. You know, even without seeing it, we've seen the very top Terrans. They do save scans around like a certain marker in time, so they aren't caught completely off guard. And we can see that Cure did save up at least one scan in his main before he saw that it was a Dark Shrine. He's like 80 energy right now, so he would have been like totally SOL. Unlike most of us on our ladder games, but it's obviously a lot nicer to see that it's been made.
Well, he starts building a turret for detection's sake. I was curious if he's going to go for turrets or a Raven. We have seen some very rare, very limited use of Ravens. Combination point defense drones for pushes, but also detection is always nice to have. But at the very least, he's got this incredibly crazy big army. I'm really actually worried for San now at this point. Because he's gone for Colossus, he doesn't have 7 Zealots on the ground. He doesn't have 3 Stalkers lying behind several sentries. If Cure decides to push and just save scans for that push, oh, this is probably going to kill the Nexus, even if there's an overcharge.
Yeah, maybe. There is a ramp on this map. There is a ramp on this map, though, as opposed to Overgrowth. So that sentry could do a lot of work, and it buying some time, anyways.
Gets the Observer over here with that turret, I guess.
Unlucky.
I mean, you really don't expect this many turrets to be down, but she's got that Dark Shrine, you have to assume. Now, 2 medevacs are coming to accompany this. I wasn't sure if he was going to try an elevator, if he was just going to try and straight push. Either way, there is at least a Colossus out, so there's potential for miscontrol for Cure with a really good engagement for San. But truth be told, this is just such a huge army lead, and normally you discount this army because it's mostly Marines versus Colossus, right? But no, there's a lot of Marauders with this. Stims forward expecting there to be Stalkers on the cliff, and there were. Cure knew what he was looking for. It picks off the pylon as well. Still that Observer, though, so he knows where and what's coming.
Yeah, I really don't think he'll be able to push his way up here if the force fields are good anyways. And there's 1 sentry ready to go with 2 force fields, but if he doesn't use it, which he didn't... Okay,
Guardian
no,
Shield.
it's okay.
Yo, Guardian Shield's not a bad choice, actually, considering just how much Marine fires here.
Yeah, and with the second Colossus popping out, as we were talking about it, that
right on
would
the
have...
edge. He still gets it.
It would have been...
Oh, he'll see the Dark Templar, too.
Oh my god. Okay.
He's gonna have to burn another scan if he wants to kill it, of course, but still, just seeing that alone, lots of things going quite well for Cure this game.
Let's see, he has to take a very long walk. Very long. I also have a Marine looking for the proxy pylon, which he's pretty sure should be down, but there actually is not.
Yeah, I mean, if this was Hawk, we'd see like 7 hidden everywhere.
Exactly. So I do like that he's doing that, but in this game, that's really that important. The Dark Templar will be able to get into the main.
I don't think it's going to do much, though. I mean, between the detection from the turrets and... well, that's kind of a cool depot design, I guess. Between that and the reinforcements, he should be okay to deal with this. In fact, he just turns around on it. Oh, that sucks.
Okay.
Third base being taken from Cure while this goes on. You know, he really had an opportunity to storm in and do a lot of damage. That timing is kind of gone now, though. That's a lot of Zealots and a couple of Colossus. There's certainly the damage to shut Cure down, unless Cure can catch him exposed like this, out in the open like this.
I thought there was a third Colossus. Oh, the third Colossus is in the main. Oh, 2 force fields could help out a lot of the Guardian Shield.
He gets one of the Colossus. Oh my god, Marauders do so much damage!
The Blinkstalkers do come down to help out. They were there originally, this wouldn't be nearly big of a problem, and the Colossus was still in the main. There it goes, coming down now. He'll still have 3, as the third one's popping out. He is on the charge again, but we have a very similar game to last time. Not in necessarily builds, but just passive, not many drops, not many harass, which means that Cure could just get that really big army again and really stomp him.
Yeah, and I think if it comes down to macro, Cure's going to win that game once more. But we do have Archons possibly coming out this time, which It's definitely going to be a little bit of a buffer difference that we didn't have last game. However, as the engagement goes down, the Colossus gets focused pretty quickly. It might not be 16 Vikings, but there's also not 20 Stalkers. So the Vikings are lasting a lot longer than they possibly should have. The Zealots, though, are just shredding the Marines despite not having charge. And looks like he will be pushed back. Good hold out of San to start, but he lost a lot for it.
Yeah, lost a lot of Zealots, but wasn't nearly as many Stalkers, but not nearly as many Vikings either. But now Cure has the double Viking production, so that'll be solved pretty easily here. Charge is going to finish, and more Colossus are on the way.
Well, before we get too far further, we didn't really read out the bets for this, and just to let everybody know where it stands right now, there's a little under 7,000 Partoofs bet on Cure for this series, with close to 13,000 on San. So, if Cure can win this game, he's going to upset a lot of people. Probably make a small amount love him quite a bit, of course.
Well, no one wanted to cheer for him in the Red Bull finals.
I know, you and I were like the only ones on Twitter. Like,
God, people sometimes.
This DT is a bit of a nuisance. I don't know if you'll see this. So far, Q's been pretty good at spotting blurs, looking for observers, but the Dark Templar definitely have some cool potential for later on. Oh my god, are you serious? It's like, okay, well. Well then.
Bye.
Where's this scan come down? Across the map, looking for observers, looking for the army. Spots a very small amount of Colossus. And it is a very small amount.
4 Colossus to 9 Vikings. Very good concave position on Catalina. Oh, Cure's not gonna go for it?
Alright, we're gonna have a riff logic time.
Okay, go.
I kind of wish they had those moving trucks that they have in the campaign that Terran could make. And you could just like place a missile turret on the trunk, so to speak, and then just carry that around with you for detection.
Uh-huh.
Yes. No functionality for damage, just detection.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it does suck that the only detection you can get as a Terran player that's mobile, other than your scans, is 200 gas. Gets feedback really easily. Very light on health.
Number 1 on priority.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Alright, well, not too worried about Dark Templar. Oh man, there's so many Zealots here. There's no Widowmines, there's no Ghosts. Chewing through the Zealot army is not going to be easily accomplished. But if he picks off the Stalkers with the army, well, hold the phone. He's actually going to pick off the Colossus with the Vikings. He splits the damage, and it works out pretty well. The Zealots are just being kited back, so simultaneously doing two very important jobs, but a very similar engagement to last game. And Cure, oh, he demolishes San. It wasn't even close.
No, the Zealots they disappeared. Like, those weren't Naniwa Zealots. I don't know what the difference is.
I was going to say charge, but he actually has charge.
Yeah, he has charge. He didn't have +3.
I really want to.
+2 is pretty good.
I really want him to land the factory and start building proxy Widowmines while this goes on, but perhaps a little too many actions to wish for. There are Dark Templars in the army and another Colossus spawns, with the medevacs all being picked off. This is a very low amount of bio. Oh, yes, sorry, that's a lot of bio with a low health. There you go.
Right, yeah. We know what you meant.
He can't even afford to stim back. There's no medevacs to stim back, too. He just has to walk to death.
This is very important. Like, the mass amount of charges could do a lot of damage now.
Is this how the game turns around?
Close. Maybe. These 4 Vikings coming out now should be the last 4 Vikings until he has 4 more medevacs at least.
Yeah. Oh,
but he might be in autopilot mode.
I definitely think so. We also have a 4th coming down for San while this goes on. And, I really thought that was going to be the end of the game. I thought that was going to be the follow-through, the push, the death kill, and all that. But San is still in this game in a very big way. His army supply's not bad. He's coming up on 3-3. We don't have 3-3 even started for Cure. And really, there we go. Started to produce Widowmines. But there's a cannon here. So rally that elsewhere.
Yeah, go to the natural. 4 medevacs are on the way, but they're not here yet. The Colossus will go down very, very fast.
Oh, those charge lots.
So much damage.
They just can. All they need to do is connect once. He splits though, so rather than running into more Zealots,
the same sentry from the beginning of this game.
Maybe if it is, the thing's a god because it just won him a large portion of that fight. That force field was really well placed. Looks like the Widowmine got picked off.
That force field is really good. Okay, well that Colossus is going to be on Widowmine duty, I guess.
Yeah, this is a really unfortunate thing. It happens rarely in TV anything, but it does happen where you realize you had devoted so much to the Vikings, you never replenish your medevacs, and when they get picked off like that, suddenly that you're just so used to, as a Terran player, stimming, because there's no consequence when you have medevacs, but when there's no medevacs, that's when you run into hard times.
Making Widowmines, yes please.
Now, actually, I kind of feel like this is bad. I wish he would actually bring this home and make some legit Widowmine production, a reactor and everything. Because that would be one big way to chew through the Zealots. Wow, that gets an amazing shot before dying.
I love Cure.
But no, I'm completely seriously. The Zealots have been a big problem for him. There's no easy way to chew through that. He needs a lot of Marauders, so he can't go too heavy on the Marines, which means he doesn't have the actual DPS for the Zealots. So if he Widow Mines at least 2 or 3 shots, it's almost like getting EMPs down. It'll do a lot of damage to the Zealots themselves. And then maybe he deals with the Colossus a bit better? I don't know, but he doesn't know about this 4th out of Sun. And he might think they're on even economy, but that's not the case.
Despite that fact, Cure is still looking good in the army supply department. He never bothered getting a 4th base. He's probably going to lift his main to get his 4th, which is always a little risky, but sometimes it goes unnoticed, and that's fine. But he doesn't have any ghosts. And we do have San going up to, of course, more Archons, but hopefully soon Storm.
Exactly. Like, he's making a lot of these Archons, not through... Well, through pretty much anything he can afford, but yeah, there's no Storms. He's had this Templar Archives for a while. I would love to see Storms come out. I think that would certainly give San a huge edge for these bio engagements, but the SCVs have been pulled. The boys are coming. 4th base is not in the cards for Cure today. He's looking for a win. He's looking for that 2-0, and with a fully maxed out army, with SCVs on the front lines, he has the biggest, blitziest army you could ask for.
Yes, he does. He's up by about 20 army supply. The upgrades are not in his favor. How many Colossus are out here?
I like that.
4 with a 5th on the way.
He sims forward because he thought there was going to be Storms. He doesn't realize there's no Storms. That kind of worked out for him. But the SCVs are in the back of the army, and he's not kiting around this. So, taking the fight at face value, we'll see if this works out for him. It's a risky move, but it looks like it's paying off. The Colossus are all gone, and it's only Stalkers and a small handful of Zealots. That army supply down here isn't even close. Good game. Ladies and gentlemen.
Army, good.